Nearly all of my friends despise Musou genre, and by saying Musou I mean that you pick a character, find yourself in a battleground, slice and dice hundreds and sometimes thousands of enemies by doing combos, special attacks, and bathing in their pixelated blood. It is my guilty pleasure doing flashy hack and slash combos, creating hundreds of orphans in merely seconds. But I love this genre, whether it be One Piece Pirate Warriors, Sengoku Basara Berserk Age of Calamity, or Fire Emblem Three Hopes. Yes, a demo for Fire Emblem Three Hopes is released and I played it. Completed what demo offered. Started playing as a male character and then teamed up with my boy Cloud, fought against bandits, magicians and other medieval evil people. And then tried out the female MC, teamed up with first Dimitri's Blue Lions and then Edelgard's Black Eagles, seeing the story from 3 different perspectives. There are some things that I didn't like quite much, but overall it is a decent Musou experience that should be played by Fire Emblem Three Houses fans especially. If you really like Fire Emblem Three Houses, whether it's characters, setting or the story, you should at least give this demo a chance. This might be your entry ticket to the Musou genre after all. If you are familiar with the Musou genre, then Three Hopes will be your ticket for Fire Emblem IP. Right, first things first, I will be talking about until the point that demo ends. So I will be speaking about story, difference in world setting, characters, each faction and the gameplay. There will be introductory information about how the game starts and how it progresses, so keep that in mind. As you might know, Three Hopes looking different this time. We are not playing as Byleth, who is the main character of Three Houses, but take the role of a purple-haired mercenary protagonist, either male or female depending on player choices. Character's default name is Shez, and like Byleth, we start as a mercenary trying to fight against Gerald's mercenaries this time, and at the end bring down the Ashen Demon, also known as Byleth. Just from the start, Three Hopes showed that us and Byleth are gonna be either rivals or enemies at some point, making some interesting and extraordinary approach. But at the end we reached Byleth, got beaten and then saved by a mysterious figure known as Arvol, whose origin is quite unknown by the demo. But it might be a contrapart of Soris, the goddess that lives within Byleth. Whole Three Hopes concept is a merely butterfly effect. Instead of Byleth meeting with 3 house leaders, Shez does. Fights against a bandit brigade and then goes to Church of Seiros, where these 3 house leaders and their retainers have a military education. Shez does not become a teacher like Byleth, but chooses one of the houses to be a student. Unfortunately, Three Hopes do not have a student life concept like Trails of Cold Steel or let's say Persona IP. Whole student life sequence has only 2 main missions, the first main mission being exact the same for 3 houses, but the second main mission being different, presents a story sequence related to that house's political issues and a civil war, so to say. After that, war happens just like Three Houses and Edelgard's march against the church begins. To be honest, I thought that we will be playing all 3 houses all together as a new faction maybe, just like an ordinary Musou experience, with game giving us a massive character roster to play, customize, level up however we wish to. But it is not like that. Depending on the faction you choose, the main cast, also the new characters that join the battle, differs. Black Eagle has Monica as a spellcaster, Manuela being the hottest teacher of Fire Emblem, and Jeritza as a cavalier. Blue Lions has Felix's dad Roderick, and Golden Deer has the mercenary Shamir as a character that joins. Keep that in mind that I'm talking about until the story mission of chapter 4 of the demo, so these guest characters might increase after that mission. Within my demo experience, Golden Deer and Blue Lion experience was quite fun, both factions having characters with different classes and gameplay, presenting a fluid hack and slash gameplay mechanics. On the other hand, Black Eagle's gameplay experience did not offer a varied gameplay mechanics, since Edelgard's house contains lots of mages and priests as playable characters. Though the character classes can be changed by using seals just like we can do by Three Houses, so the customization is totally up to you. Melee characters like Dimitri, Felix, Hilda and Edelgard present a fluid action-packed gameplay, but same can't be said for spellcaster characters at this point. From their animation, combos to their damage potency, it feels kinda bland and quite lacking. This time I preferred spellcaster characters to form a group with a melee character or cavaliers and use them more as a supportive role. On the other hand, characters that use mounts such as Ferdinand, Cloud and Ingrid offers a fast pace and fun combat, and it becomes better with Fire Emblem's gameplay system. Three Hopes' gameplay mechanics are based on Koei Tecmo's previous Musou title with Nintendo partnership Age of Calamity. Each specific target unit have a shield mark upon their head that would break with each attack and then lead to a special move to deal a high damage. These shield marks can be broken faster by using the specific weapon that a target is weak to, and this is where Fire Emblem's strategical side comes to the gameplay. Depending on players' preference, Three Hopes can also have a hardcore mode that would provide more strategical approach by making death of a character available just like by the original Fire Emblem games. To be honest, as a Musou game, I don't think this is a good idea as a choice, but if you wanna play it like that, then I'm not gonna stop you. Even if you level up your characters or equip them with a decent gear, this is a hack and slash game after all. You can get stuck between different special units and then lose your character and with it a big chunk of a gameplay and also its story. But then again, it can also present a deeper gameplay and a different approach to a Musou genre. But I don't think this is a good idea. I think it's just better to play a fun hack and slash game with Fire Emblem Three Houses characters and lore, and focus on completing the objectives rather than characters' own survival. As for another point of strategy, players can order characters that are on the battlefield for any kind of attack and a point capture. Nearly all of the missions provide also a side mission that focuses mostly on time attack objectives. In this case, players give order to each character, making them capture a specific point or attack a specific target, and then players can concentrate on whatever they want to do. By completing side missions, you can unlock additional points by the war map that can provide an additional resources to the players. These resources can be lumber or a weapon depending on map and location. On the other hand, each mission mostly gives player 4 different spots to decide whom they want to take with, and by 4 different characters, 2 different groups can be formed, which would create a team of 2 badasses that also get closer by each special attack, leading to their typical Fire Emblem-ish supportive conversations. As you might know, with Fire Emblem Awakening, the sweet poison of waifus and husbandos entered the IP, and just like by Persona 3 and 4, Fire Emblem fans also began to discuss who they would bang. I don't know if there is any romance option by this game, but all of the supportive conversations are starting from level C and end with a A, if you spend time with that character or form a bond by using these characters together on the battlefield. And sadly, each 3 faction has the same style of base, from its design to atmosphere, which would make me think that of a boring and a lazy approach. I think I would prefer a base or a castle design depending on that faction, meaning Black Eagles with more fires, braziers and flags, Blue Lions with more banners and knights, and Golden Deer with a lively base with mercenaries, merchants preparing for a war. This base of operations offers cooking and a chore gameplay as of Fire Emblem Three Houses that will increase the bond and motivation of characters and helps players to access the support conversations quite easily. Improving the facilities of the base depending on the resources that you can gather either by doing missions or by unlocking spots by doing side missions of that map, which I mentioned previously. Each facility improvement can help you to level up class of your characters easily, unlock new recipes or even equipments to be bought. And if you want to increase your bond with the characters as the main character, you can once again purchase gifts from the merchants and drown these characters in gifts to increase your relationships faster. Fire Emblem Three Hopes is quite fun, but it kinda felt a bit downgraded from Age of Calamity's visuals, but I felt that it is done for the sake of framerate by some points. I had no chance to try out 2-player multiplayer, but this is also a choice for coach co-op gameplay only. Designs of the characters are once again quite charming, maps feel more interesting than most of previous Musou games, but then again I felt the visuals or the art direction for levels could have been better. I couldn't help myself but felt Fire Emblem Three Hopes lacked a color filter by some maps. It kinda felt colorless and grey for me. As I mentioned before, Three Hopes can be an entry ticket for any Fire Emblem fan or a Fire Emblem entry for any Musou fans. Though if you have no clue about one of the best Fire Emblem games, Three Houses, you are gonna spoil lots of stuff for yourself, so keep that in mind. As the story wise, I do like how a tiny butterfly effect could shape the whole story kinda approach. I find it brave to place protagonist of Three Houses as the new antagonist this time, and I'm willing to find out more by its release. And of course, a review covering the game will be here, but probably a bit late since I want to talk about the whole game, playing all 3 factions and then talk about my feelings. There are still 2 weeks of a time until the release date, so stay tuned.